Uncover the hidden world of political campaigns in just 5 minutes. Join me, your host, David Washington, on Countertop Politics every Monday for exclusive campaign insights, tantalizing innuendo, and the secret sauce behind successful political campaigns. Don't miss out. Let's go. All right. Hey, good morning. If you're watching this on Monday morning, then hey, you're right on time. I'm David Washington, your political innovator here at the J.N. Washington Network, and this is Countertop Politics. Hey, campaign insight, tantalizing innuendo, and the secret sauce to a winning strategy for your campaigns, period, bar none. You got to sit down and talk to us because, I mean, we've been on top of stuff. We know what we're doing, and we do have the best strategies for a winning campaign. So let's get right into it. Um, so I want to talk about endorsements and put it into the proper perspective. So this is endorsements 2.1 because we talked about this before in the importance or lack of importance of endorsements. Now, I've always stated endorsements mean a lot when it comes with a big bag of money. Otherwise, unless it's an endorsement by the sitting president or Jesus Christ, endorsements really don't matter. In my honest opinion, it really doesn't move the needle for a candidate. And it's how you use it. And if it comes with a nice big bag of money, that's even better. But that's a different story. We talked about that, and we'll be talking about that even more so in our Leadership Academy, our other podcasts into the future. So stay tuned for that. But now I'm going to talk about endorsements from local media. Local media is the best source, the best trusted source of news, of information, according to a local poll survey that I read, and I'll add that link in the show description here. But the information I saw was that local media, not the Foxes or the MSNBCs or the CNNs. No, it's your local media that you have more trust in than any of the major news networks. So that means like, local, news, television news. Here in Florida, we have the Channel 6, Channel 13, and you know who they are. However, when it comes to newspapers, they're a dying breed, that's true. They have an important role here because they too remain relevant, especially for an older generation, older subscription base. And here in Central Florida, we have one of the more established newspapers for quite some time, now under the leadership of the Alden Group, a hedge fund. They're Orlando Sentinel. They're under the Tribune Company, which is under the Alden Group hedge fund. And the Orlando Sentinel is known for its slightly left of center politics for the most part. If you ask anyone on the political spectrum here in Central Florida, and they are very active in the local political scene. You have reporters like, or journalists, let's say journalists like Scott Maxwell, Jason Garcia, Stephen Hudak. There's a number of individuals who are actively involved. You also have other, of course, organizations, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But here, particularly, the Orlando Sentinel. And they get involved in endorsements. And what the Orlando Sentinel does, they'll interview a number of candidates. And right now, they're issuing their endorsements from interviews that they've done with different campaigns and their candidates. And with that, they're talking to the candidate, get as much information as possible prior to those interviews, and trying to make a good, educated decision. From what I follow, they've been on the wrong end of these campaigns and elections. Usually, their endorsements, especially during the primary season, have come out to be the incorrect one. It seems like a lot of times they want to play it safe and go with the establishment candidate. But when you look at the significance of these endorsements, you also have to put that into the right perspective by looking at their market reach. So, for example, here in Orlando, the Orlando Sentinel has about a media reach, a media market of about 5 million people. Of that 5 million people, um, their daily, or let's say their Sunday readership is about 82,000 people for their print and e edition. Their weekly reach is about 71,000. And the demographics are a little bit higher than the median here in Central Florida. The average age of their readership is about 44, 45 years old. They make about $9,000 more than the median income. They're college educated. And so you have a more affluent readership. Their digital subscription base in weekly and online readers is about 900,000. So those are numbers you want to put into perspective. And when you, as a campaign manager or consultant, look at the effectiveness of these endorsements, or if they really matter and if they're reaching your targeted demographic, you got to look at these numbers, and these numbers were provided by the Orlando Sentinel Media Kit, which I'll put a link into the show descriptions. But when you, as a campaign consultant, campaign manager, or even the candidate, look at these numbers and weigh whether or not there's worth an investment in ads with the Sentinel, or even taking their endorsements and putting them into the proper context. Is it the voter base, your targets, the same as the people who are reading the endorsements from media organizations like the Orlando Sentinel? We're going to go into that a little bit more likely in another podcast, but even more likely than that in our Leadership Academy, and just break down these numbers and determine whether or not do these endorsements, especially when they're not on target, really matter from the media, local media at that. We'll talk to you again. I really appreciate you being with me and being a part of what we do as political innovators, as political consultants, political advisors. It's about a little under, I would say, 20, 30 days until the August 20th election here in Florida. That's for the primary. And about a little over 100 days until the November election, which I'm sure by now you're watching this or listening to this, is going to be quite the show. So, again, I want to thank you all for being a part of what we do, supporting us. We are growing. Our network is growing. We've got some great content coming up. We've got publications. You all have to check out the Hawkeye blog. That's we re, we re. I'm so excited, and I've only had a little bit of coffee. We rebranded our blog and called it the Hawkeye, and you should see the commentary there. Of course, the newsletter is still going on. The Informer newsletter is still going strong, and we're expanding our network. you'll see some great stuff. So I really, really appreciate you. Check us out across all our socials, our website. Thank you to my team. Thank you to you, our viewers and listeners. Without you all, this would not be possible. So thank you again. God bless. Enjoy yourselves.